we ourselves are responsible to some extent to create differences among ourselves. Now children, let us see some factors that have caused diversity and discrimination. These are all man-made factors which have a negative impact in the society. Now, the first one is prejudice. The meaning of prejudice is to judge a person negatively. For example, it's a common belief that people who know English, who can speak English fluently, are superior. There is a notion or there is a belief among the people that those who do not speak English language are considered as substandard people. The people who know to speak English, who are well versed in English language, may consider the people who do not know to communicate English in a negative manner. But this is a wrong approach. Actually, language is something that we use to communicate, that's all. We all know that Malayalam is our mother tongue. If you don't know Malayalam language, it is just like saying that you don't know your mother. Malayalam, Hindi, Urdu, Telugu are all different languages that are spoken by the people of our country. All languages are very important. They are means of communicating among ourselves. But there is a false belief, especially among some people who speak English fluently, that the people who don't know to speak English are substandard or below our level in status. Now this is a wrong notion. This is called prejudice. Prejudice means to treat people in a negative manner. Likewise, let us now find the difference between rural people and urban people. Rural people means people who live in villages, and urban people are the people who live in towns. Generally, we say that rural people are mostly farmers. Most of the family members are engaged in farming. These people don't give much importance to health or to education. Most of them remain illiterate. They are superstitious. They don't want to accept new scientific inventions and technology. They stick to old and outmoded methods of production. But what about urban people? It is a common belief that people living in urban areas or in towns are more fashionable. They like to adopt scientific technology, modern means of production. They are not superstitious, but at the same time, they don't give much importance to values. They are cunning, crooked, sly, and corrupt. They don't give importance to family attachments and such values. They are more free type of people, etc. So these are the notions regarding the urban people and the rural people. These are general statements, but you cannot fix a hard and fast rule regarding all such statements. For example, there are so many people living in the rural area who are educated. Likewise, all people living in urban areas may not be cunning or cruel or corrupt. So you cannot lay down a hard and fast rule. Do you understand, children? So this is the explanation of prejudice. Second type of difference created by man, it is called stereotype. Stereotype means fixing an individual in a certain pattern or type. That's called stereotype. I'll give you an example, children. Generally, we say that boys are bold. They are strong-minded. They are interested in sports. They don't cry. Okay? They are people who can manage everything. They don't go behind emotions. They are not emotional, etc. But what about girls? We generally categorize girls as the gender of people who are emotional. They cry very easily. They are interested more in music or painting rather than in sports, etc. So these are the differences that we ourselves create between boys and girls. So you know what happens at a very young age itself, boys are tuned to the fact that we should not cry. So when a boy cries, the parents or the relatives come and pat on their shoulders and say, "Hey, you are a boy. Why do you cry?" Likewise, when a girl shouts or speaks out boldly, the parents or the grandmother may say, "See, you are a girl. You are not supposed to shout like that. You should stay inside your home. You should be submissive. You should be silent," etc. But these are all incorrect notions. We all know, children, that India, a country like India, has seen the rise of so many women who have held very good positions in government offices, in the cabinet, in the constitution, etc. There is no such hard and fast rule that girls are submissive and boys are always bold. There are so many boys who are emotional too. So this is also a type of discrimination or a difference or a diversity that has been created by individuals. Do you understand that? Now, the third type of difference created by man is called discrimination. The meaning of discrimination is to look down upon an individual. See, in some cases, we find that certain people are not allowed to enter a public place, to use the public taps, to use the common pond, or use the drinking water from the well, to enter into cinema theatres, to enter into the premises of hospitals, etc. The reason behind this is such people are treated as inferiors, or the people who belong to a low status in the society. So, this is discrimination. There are actually two types of discrimination. One is economic discrimination and the second one is social discrimination. What do you mean by discrimination on economic grounds? It means that in the society, on the basis of income, there are two sections. One, the rich who earn lot of money, and the second, poor who don't have even the basic necessities of life like food, shelter and clothing. Naturally, there is a tendency of the rich people to ill-treat, to harass or discriminate against the poor people. Now, the second type of discrimination, it is called social discrimination. There are certain groups of people like tribals, people who follow certain religious practices, etc., who are looked down upon by the society. As I told you earlier, these people are not allowed to enter some public places. They are given a separate place in the society. They are looked down upon. They are not able to mingle with other people. In a school, in a classroom, they are not allowed to sit along with other children in the same bench, or they use the property of the school, etc. So such types of discriminations are on the basis of some social reasons. Okay? Likewise, we also find that there are certain differences in jobs also. There are people who follow professions like doctors, lawyers, teachers, etc., as well as businessmen, bank employers, etc. Now, these people are given a separate status in the society. But what about the people who do the cleaning work, who pick the garbages from here and there, etc.? they are always given a low position in the society. This is also an example of discrimination. Do you understand, children, now? See, it was the caste system or the system of communities that placed a big ladder before us. And in this ladder, the people who are placed in the upper position, they are the people belonging to the high caste or upper caste. But those who occupy the position in the lower area or in the lower part of the ladder, they are the low caste people. There is such a lot of difference between the upper caste people and the lower caste people. I had explained already about the lower caste people. They were known as Dalits or the untouchables in the society. So hope you understood, children. Now you should realize one fact. All these sorts of differences have led to a major social problem in our society, and that is called inequality. Look at the board. Prejudice, stereotype, discrimination, all these have contributed to create a grave problem in the society, and this is called inequality. Okay? This inequality is a great social evil. It has separated or it has made a lot of gap between the rich and the poor people in the society. This condition should change. All our reformers, our politicians, our national leaders, all these people have been striving a lot in order to improve this condition of our society, to put an end, to find a solution to the problem of inequality. So we have to turn to nature to study the lessons of equality. I had shown you a garden full of flowers, isn't it? What is the peculiarity? There is no such problem of inequality. All flowers are blooming together, whether it's a red flower or a blue flower or a yellow flower or a pink flower, all are blooming beautifully, happily in the garden. Likewise, in this nation, in our country also, we should all live together. There should be no problem of inequality at all. This is the moral lesson that you should learn from this chapter. Thank you.